Thanks for checking in on the State of Basketball Podcast, episode 108. I'm Adam Miller, and I'm here with Jaren Will each and every week, and we are going to be bringing you the news and notes on all 11 Division I schools in the state of Indiana, because in 49 states,
it's just basketball.
It is. We are about a quarter of the way through conference season, which is kind of crazy because it's only been 2 weeks, but it's already looking like we are needing to push the panic button on some of these teams. And so we're going to be kind of talking about that today, because some teams we thought at the beginning of the year were going to be NCAA tournament teams. Some teams we thought were going to make their conference tournament. Both of those things could be in question for some of our teams. So we're going to talk about that, but pretty decent slate of games this week. A lot of losses again. Don't like to see that.
Yeah, I was looking at it earlier and I was like, what if we started doing an overall? So we do like the weekly records for each individual team.
Yeah.
It's like, what if we started doing a weekly record for like the state of Indiana? And I was like, I don't like that. I don't know that number would look very good. I don't think we should do that. But I almost texted you about it.
We have done it at times, and it's been bad. Anytime we've ever thought about it.
I mean, what teams would go this week, for example, would be 4 or 5 and 15.
A lot. And yeah, and 2 of those wins came from the same team. Yeah. So we're going to talk about kind of, what happened this week, and then kind of what we think will happen to these teams going forward. But, we're here and had some good football to watch this week as well. So that was enjoyable. And, hasn't been too cold. We need to try and get to like one more game or 2 more games this season. We'll see what our schedule allows. I'd like to get to, a couple of more games, but let's break down. What is it? Week 10? We're past the halfway point, right?
We are past the halfway point for the regular season. So our week 10 power rankings, which are, as always, presented by Crow's Nest Coffee. If you ever want to get your coffee needs, especially as it's getting cold again in Indiana, you can use 15% off. Use our code for 15% off every order. Code is TSOB. You can see it's in the description of our all of our episodes, and the link is in our social media bio. But what you are here for is the power rankings. The Crow's Nest is just a byproduct of that. At number 11, remaining the same, is Ball State. At number 10 is Southern Indiana. Number 9, IU Indy. Number 8, Evansville. Number 7 is Indiana State. So they dropped back 1 spot from last week, mostly due to our number 6 school, Purdue Fort Wayne, moving up after having a great week with 2 wins to their name there. At 5 is still Valpo. They're picking up good wins here and there, have a really good resume so far. Then at number 4 is Notre Dame. Number 3 is Butler, so they moved back 1 spot. They did pick up a loss this week to a really good St. John's teams, but at number 2, Indiana, picked up 1 win, played really close, a really good game against one of the best teams in the country, Nebraska.
Quite literally, one of the 5 undefeated teams.
And then at number 1 is Purdue.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these teams, just are stacking losses right now, and I think that's a problem, and it doesn't help our power rankings, because it's like we can't even really have much of a conversation, because it's like you looked at the 3 last teams in our power rankings, and it's like, okay, well, none of them won, so we probably just leave them all the same, I guess. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see more wins, because then things really get interesting on who gets to move up. Really.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Hopefully next week brings better tidings for the teams. So you ready to get down into the nitty gritty on our 11 teams, Jaren?
Yes. So as always, except for that one time, we go in alphabetical order. So we've got Ball State. They're presently Torvik rank 323. That is down from 311 last week. So stacked a couple losses that moved them down 12 spots. They did go 0-2 this week. They're 4-12 overall and 0-4 in the MAC. They did lose to Eastern Michigan 74-52. They lost at UMass, new to the MAC UMass, 79-71. What do you got from these games, Adam?
Other than having to rewire my brain and include UMass in some action, I don't know any other way to put the Eastern Michigan game other than like it was just an ass beating. Really,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, the numbers were horrific. Like Eastern Michigan shot above 50% from the field and from three, and they only shot 6 free throws and they made 5. I don't think I've seen a stat this low where they like a team only has 9 fouls in the whole game, and that team isn't running away with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like seeing 9 fouls is jarring, but like 9 fouls from the team that lost is crazy. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, it is a very jarring stat, but I mean, it boils down to Ball State just they shot horrendously. Did not shoot the ball well, so that wasn't great. And then
Eastern Michigan was like the Warriors, dude.
Yeah, yeah. And then the UMass game, I mean, bright spots. Ball State had more points in the paint than UMass. They had 4 more. Then they had more second chance points, 3 more. Kept it close, but again, UMass just was the victor there.
Yeah, I was impressed with the how competitive they were with UMass. I mean, like they were in the game pretty much the whole way, right?
Yeah.
And that I was a little bit pleasantly surprised by because I didn't really see that coming based on, their last outing. I mean, UMass is 155 in Torvik, right? And Eastern Michigan is 203. So you would expect it to be worse.
Yeah.
Right. But they competed in a road game, and I was happy with the effort. UMass is 1-4 in the MAC. But still,
yeah,
we saw some fight from them, and especially some fight from Davion Hill. If he could have his second half every half, he'd be averaging like 50 points.
One thing that kind of I think has gone under the radar for the Cardinals is Jawan Maxey hasn't played since the 20th of December.
Right.
Didn't realize that. Haven't seen anything about like why he's not playing, like if he's hurt or whatever. Injury reports aren't as readily available for MAC basketball as they are for other.
You got to do some digging.
Yeah, you got to do some digging there. But I just couldn't find anything. I don't know why, but I learned one, Ball State's only favored in 2 games for the remainder of the season, concerning. But Jawan Maxey not playing is really a big blow. Since he came out on the 20th and stopped playing, I think they won on the 20th. I don't remember fully, but their defensive efficiency has been pretty bad. Like he's not a guy that's going to put up a bunch of numbers on offense, but defense is where his big role is, and they've just been pretty bad. And 4 of their best lineups with 10 plus possessions this season have Maxey in them.
Yeah, I mean, the 20th is Miami of Ohio, where they lost by 9, and then they have that one win against Earlham since then. So their only win against a D1 team in the last since literally the first game of the season is Lemoyne on November 30th. So it's been over a month since they've won a D1 game, and they probably have the worst team that they could play next, but we'll talk about that later. Let's talk about sorry. Panic button. Are you hitting the panic button on Ball State?
Yes.
I'm absolutely hammering the panic button. They've only played 4 MAC games. Like that is probably the one positive, right? But like they still have pretty much every good MAC team left.
Yeah.
And I don't see the road getting, like, you still have Akron twice. You have Kent State. You have Buffalo. Like, it's not getting easier from here. And effort was nice against UMass. I'm hitting the panic button fully because they are definitely, after 4 games, on the outside looking in from the MAC tournament.
Yep. Okay. Hammering it. It's yes.
Yep. Push, not even hesitating.
No.
Butler. So they went down a little bit. They were 49. They're 51 this week in Torvik. They went 0-1 this week. Just had 1 game and they lost it. They are 10-6 overall and 1-4 in the Big East. So they lost to St. John's 84-70. And I mean, St. John's is a good team, right? St. John's has been playing really well recently, but it's just the way that they beat them. Like St. John's won the way they wanted to win. They forced 21 turnovers. St. John's had 5.
Yeah.
That's an absurd amount of turnovers.
Yeah.
And like, because of that, St. John's took 21 more shots than Butler. Everything, like, other than that, those 2 things, like, everything was even. They just absolutely could not control, like, keep track of the ball, and so it was super frustrating to watch. And yeah.
Did you know that Michael Ajayi led the nation in rebounds per game?
Really?
Yeah. He was not anymore. He's second presently due to him not rebounding well against St. John's, but just barely missed a double-double in that game. He had 14 points, 9 rebounds. But going into that game, he was he led the nation in double-doubles with 12, and rebounding with 12.3 rebounds per game.
It's impressive.
He's now in second. I think the guy in first is like 12.9, and he's got 12.1.
Yeah,
I think is what his average went down to. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh my, what? Especially when you think about last year, didn't Tout lead the nation in rebounds with like 19?
Yeah, some crazy. Yeah, and that's the thing. If you told me like, hey, one of the players in Indiana is leading the nation in rebounds, I would have guessed Tout.
Yeah.
Well, that's not too surprising. Like when you say it.
But I love it because all I talked about the last 2 years with Butler is rebounds, and now they have the nation's second leading rebounder. But anyways, just a little bright spot there. I thought was pretty nice that came out of that thing.
Yeah.
But I think Butler's getting worse as they go.
It's trending that way. I mean, I don't know how much you can. I don't know how much you can truly chalk this up to like Jalen Jackson being out. Like obviously that's a huge missing piece, but good teams find ways to win, and like they're on a 3-game losing streak, and
correct.
This one not as winnable, but the other ones have all been very, very close in the Big East.
And I mean, unfortunately too, they've played some of the best teams in the Big East.
Right.
So like that's been kind of stacked against their favor. So,
yeah, I mean 1-4. It's just so jarring because of how well they started the season. Like that Virginia win was so good, and they lost one at SMU was like the one that got away.
Yeah. That
they should have had, and it was like, okay, but this team is continuing to fight, and then Jalen Jackson goes down, they get into Big East play, and it just seems like there's just no fire there right now. So I mean, obviously they're going to make the Big East tournament, but panic button, because we thought this is a team that was going to make the NCAA tournament. Are you hitting the panic button? Are you hovering it? What are you doing?
I'm hovering it. I think to my point, all right, they've played several of the better teams in the Big East. So they've played some of the toughest competition they're going to face in the conference season. So like there's that, but
till they play them again.
right. But it's tough to beat a team twice. We do know that, historically speaking. At least that's how the phrase goes.
That's what the people be saying, and we're not the people this time. we're not the people who are saying it this time.
No, but I'm hovering. I'm not ready to push it yet.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I mean, it's if you like have a 5-6 game losing streak, yeah, I'm pushing the button. But right now, like my hand's on the button, but it's not pushing down. Like it's resting. I'm gently resting my hand on the panic button.
Yeah, until they play I don't know. Xavier is it gonna
Yeah,
be?
they've got an opportunity this upcoming week.
I'm giving them till Marquette.
Okay.
I'm giving them till Marquette. So the next four games.
My God, if you lose to Marquette this year.
Yeah, that's kind of what that's my litmus test there. Granted, Xavier's not very good either, but they also have Seton Hall in there, and Seton Hall is scary. Moving on to Evansville, they are 265 in Torvik. That is up from 274. They did go 1-1 this week. They are 5-13 overall, 1-6 in the Valley. They lost against Murray State, 79-69. Nice. Well, not that they lost, but the number.
On, man.
They won at Indiana State, 72-69. Nice. The losing team in both their games this week scored 69 points.
Fun fact. There you go. Very surprising. I mean, very surprising the way that they won at Indiana State. So, I mean, I'm real quick on Murray State. My one thing on Murray State is don't shoot 1 for 12 from 3. That's it. That's my no. That's my no. Hard to win versus the undefeated Murray State in the conference, who's looked very good all year when you shoot 1 for 12 from 3. I'm glad they didn't take more. They normally take more.
That is true.
I'm glad they didn't take more.
Yeah, I mean, my big note here is at the end of the day, Coach Ragland was still proud of the way the players played. He was appreciative of their effort. You know, he said that there was some guys in foul trouble at the end of the game, so it made it harder because Murray State could actually use their full rotation, and Evansville was kind of limited in that regard. But he said that they left everything out on the floor, and I think that's, even though you're losing and shooting that poorly, if your coach is saying that, and he's still positive about it, you know, there's that growth opportunity that they can take away from it. But that's all I've got on the Murray State game.
Indiana State, I mean, this is a good win. So they were without Connor Turnbull, the defensive player of the year for both games. Reigning defensive player of the year from the Missouri Valley. They were without him, and if you have him, I mean, that Murray State game, that 10 points is definitely, he's definitely worth 10 points to me. Like, he can erase some things down low, and I think that looks different. But when I saw he was out, I'm going to be honest, I did not expect them to beat Indiana State. It was not on my radar that they were going to win without him. But I mean, AJ Casey, Leaf Muller, Alex Hemingway were all huge, and you know,
yeah, Leaf Muller felt that energy from you and decided to take it personal. And I mean, to me, he's a big reason they won that game, right? Several huge threes down the stretch in like the closing minutes. 17 points, he had 8 assists, 8 boards, all team highs. Damn near had a triple double.
Yeah,
to pull the win off.
So like, this is so weird because they played Indiana State. They won the game because of 3-point shooting. Indiana State lost the game because of their 3-point shooting. I mean, they shot 45% in this game, went 10 of 22. They literally shot 8% the game the previous game. 8%. And 8%, if you ask me like, hey, they're going to play a game, are they going to shoot 8% or 45%? I'm telling you 8%, because that's the kind of shooting team they are. 45% is absurd. They made 5 more threes.
It's the Holman Center, man.
They got out rebounded by 10. They had 4 more turnovers. They made 8 fewer free throws. Everything about this game they should have lost, other than their play down the stretch and the fact that they hit their threes and Indiana State didn't. And I would have, if you would have asked me what happened in this game, I would have told you the exact opposite is going to happen. But hey, really good road win. I mean, those wins are hard to come by in the Valley, especially road wins. So you got one now. That is very good thing to keep in your, you know, resume there going forward. That'll help. Indiana.
Are we a panic button scenario with Evansville?
Oh, I mean, trending upwards.
Yeah,
I was probably smacking can you unhit the panic button? because like they were 1 and or 0 and 5 or 0 and 6 before this Indiana State game, right?
Yeah.
But
Some
only
momentum.
lost by 10.
Some momentum.
Beat Indiana State on the road. I would put a pause on the alarm. Like I was smacking it like repeatedly. Like, how many times can I hit this? Because
So the alarm's still going, but you've muted it.
yeah,
Okay.
you know when you like push the smoke alarms going off and you push the button to silence it. That's what I just did to the panic button.
Okay. Yeah. So Indiana, they are Torvik ranked 18. That is up 1 spot from 19. They did go 1-1 this week. They're 12-4 overall, 3-2 in the Big Ten. They won at Maryland 84-66, and then they lost to Nebraska 83-77. Maryland game, they just kind of put belt to ass.
Yeah, it started out like rocky.
Yeah, they shot terrible in the first half, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And then they started to warm up, and from there it was kind of like, and our audio listeners aren't going to see this, our
but
video.
you can imagine, paint a picture for them.
So it's like, a very kind of horizontal line, but like trending upward towards Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
And then they started getting hot by shooting threes, and it was just like, whoop, straight vertical from there, which is okay. It was like a slow burn.
Yeah, I mean, it was like it started out like a road effort that you would expect, right? Like, kind of slow, kind of rough, but then they took off, got their shots. I mean, all the guards were great. I mean, like, this was a guards game for sure. The way that they played, and they got the win on the road, which is good, and it looked like they were going to carry that momentum. It really did, because we were talking about Nebraska's undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
They have to come into Assembly Hall. Like, IU is favored. Can they handle Nebraska ball? And the answer is no. No, they cannot.
Yeah. I mean, it was a very back and forth first half till the end. Indiana pulled away, and then they came out of the half and they were just straight hooping. They were like, okay, we're going to run it up on one of the best teams in the country. Indiana was.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And they got
up like double digits.
They were up 16. They're up 16. And then they were maintaining that until Tucker DeVries decided that he liked to foul everyone. And then he had to come out with foul trouble.
I just imagine it being like a conscious choice, being like, I'm gonna get that fourth foul. We're up. I'm gonna get that fourth foul.
And then from there, it was just GG's. Like, I think Nebraska went on what was their run? It was something insane,
something absurd. It was it ended up being a 22-6 run. I would have put DeVries back in the game much sooner.
Yeah,
I would rather him get a fifth foul and
stop the burn,
and try and stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
Like, it just he can't, I feel like he didn't come back in until Nebraska was ahead.
I don't think he did.
Which is, I mean, you got to at least try, like, say, man, don't foul, but especially because, like, when you put that guy in, like, they'll attack them and try and get them the fifth foul. What they were killing IU everywhere. What did it matter? Like, what did it matter? Yeah. I mean, Nebraska ball is inevitable, dude. They knocked off Michigan State. They came in
at the no, they're at home. Never mind. I was going to say at the Breslin Center, but no.
Yeah, because they got the court stormed.
Yeah.
And Tom Izzo said he loved it.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is like, obviously, like, Nebraska is very good. They're ranked 10 for a reason. They're undefeated. But this is horrible for IU because you needed that win. Like, you needed, there's no like, wow, really good win on this resume yet. And that would have been it.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been a quad one, and it would have stayed quad one all year. I guarantee it, because it was a home win against the top 10 team. Missed opportunity, man. I mean, are we hitting the panic button? They're 3-2, 12-4.
If Tucker DeVries doesn't get his shit together and stay out of foul trouble, I'm getting closer to pressing it.
Mm-hmm.
He's had 6 games with 4+ fouls on the season. He's fouled out once. He's had 4 fouls in 3 of their last 5, and 4 or more in 4 of their last 6.
Yeah.
And like, those games include games like against Siena,
Yeah.
right? Chicago State,
Yeah.
right? I think Chicago State he only had one, but it's Kentucky, you're Washington, you're Maryland. Those games, it's like the active leading scorer in college basketball right now
can't stay on the court.
Can't stay on the court. That is a concern for me.
Yeah, and he's far too important to this team.
Yes.
And he's far too old to be having this many fouls too.
Yes.
So,
yes. So I
wouldn't say I'm close. I would say like I know where the panic button is. Like I know where it is in my house.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to it.
Right.
But I am like, yes, I know it's in that drawer. Yeah.
You're aware of where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Indiana State
went down quite a bit here, from 198 down to 227. They lost their only game. They are now 8-9, just below 500, and 1-5 in the Valley. They lost to Evansville at home, 72-69. And like we kind of talked about with Evansville, I mean, it was seriously like the performances were flipped. I mean, they went 5 of 28 for 3. They shot a lot of them, which they do. They've had cold nights, but I don't know what. I mean, it had to have been like a Monstars situation where they stole, like Evansville stole their talent, because it was seriously like their performances were flipped. And I mean, Ian Scott was great, but like down the stretch, they could not get a stop, and then they just could not hit a bucket all game. Like they just couldn't hit a shot, and that's how you lose.
Yeah, I mean, for the third game this season, they shot through 13 or more free throws than their opponents, right? And again, you see that as like, okay, this team probably won. Then you see also Ian Scott, tied his season high with 24 points.
And he was so good in this game.
And had his conference leading 5th double-double.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah, probably won. Or you see that they had 41 rebounds. And it's like, okay, yeah, probably won. Or that they allowed 2 offensive rebounds. It's like, okay, yeah. And
the 2 offensive rebounds, that is like, okay, they were cleaning up the glass. It's like, yeah, and then they were kicking everything out, couldn't get a shot inside or kicking it out, and then couldn't hit, which is kind of surprising that, like, I mean, I don't understand why they weren't able to attack the lane more with Turnbull being out. Like, you would think that would be the recipe to win. It's like, hey, the post player who's the defensive player of the year is gone. Maybe we should, I don't know, try and get there more. I mean, Ian Scott took advantage of him being on, certainly.
Yeah.
But looks like the rest of the team didn't know.
Okay. Panic button.
I 1-5. They've had good wins, but they've also got they've had some decent wins, but they've also gotten blown out. This loss concerns me. I mean, I silenced the Evansville button, but I think I'm not slamming it, but I'm probably tapping the panic button here, because I don't see how this team's going to compete with Murray State in St. Louis, really, just with how volatile their shooting is, right?
Right.
Like if the shooting's not there and they do everything great like they did in this game, they still lose.
Right.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm hitting it. I think that just to where we're at in this point in the season, I know that it's like a light tap. It's like a little love tap. But I'm pushing it. I know that so far they've played more games without their head coach than they have with.
Yeah.
So like that's gonna, play a part. But I think they should be winning more of these games. They should not be 1-5, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
They are not a sub 200 team.
They're not an 8-9. Their talent's not an 8-9 team, and they're not that far behind those top teams in the Valley. Like, I don't think that they're that far behind, but their record says that they're not even close.
Right.
Let's talk about IU Indy. They went down a little bit here from 327 down to 321. They had an unfortunate 0-2 week. They did not win a game. They lost both. So that brings them to 4-15 on the season and 0-8 in conference, which means they're still searching for that first conference win in Ben Hallett's career at IU Indy. They lost at Green Bay 75-59, and then they followed that up with a loss at Milwaukee. That was Sunday, 95-83. So jarring score in the Green Bay game for sure. Second lowest scoring output we've seen from this team. They were only worse against Youngstown State at home. I think that was like the Chris, maybe it was right after or right before Christmas break game. It was somewhere around there.
It was
just like I expected this team to score 59 points in the first half, not for a game.
It was first week of December,
Yeah,
a month ago.
So those two conference games,
almost a month to the day from the Green Bay game.
Wild.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help that they missed their final 7 field goal attempts.
Mm-hmm.
Of the first half, right? So
really,
Green Bay went on a 13-0 run. It was 25-24 prior to that. Green Bay was up 1, and then they went on a 13-0 run. And then to start the second half, Green Bay went on a 4-0 run.
So 17 unanswered points.
17 unanswered.
And that's the game right there.
Yep, that's going to put them
literally
up,
the game.
That puts them up 18, and from there, it was a wrap.
Yeah, I mean, they got out-rebounded. They had more fouls. They didn't have a bunch of turnovers, but, I mean, they just could not get a stop. And, like, when you don't score, it's very hard to get yourself to want to play some hard defense and play at a fast pace. So,
in the Milwaukee game, the Jags, they got more shots up than Milwaukee, right? That's what they want. They want to force you to turn over. They want to get down the court, get a shot. If they miss, get the rebound, get another shot. Like they want to play fast like that, right? But they just happen to make less. So they shot more than Milwaukee, but made less shots than Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, okay, yeah, that'll lose you a game. So it just comes down to like making their shots. I think is a big thing. Like we see these glimpses throughout the year of where like the system is working, or what the system's designed to do, and then there's just the minor things when it comes to execution. It's like, okay, this is where they're still behind. And that's in this instance, just their shot making
for
ability.
a lot of, like, for this one, they looked pretty good for 35 minutes. And then Milwaukee, like, it was just seriously like, it was like, oh, okay. Like the lead by 7. Oh, like it was like, oh, no, Milwaukee's up by 7. Now they're up by 11. And they just kept going. It was like a 10-0 run, like down the stretch, and they just couldn't hit anything. And, it looked like they were going to win the game for 30 to 34 minutes. And then they just, I don't know what happened. They just couldn't hit anything in the end and, lost it. But I don't know. The announcer, the Milwaukee announcer was on one, dude. He was crazy. He was by himself. It was just one guy. So I don't know if it was like the radio guy was like doing ESPN Plus broadcast too, but it was just him. And
interesting.
Yeah, which I haven't seen much, but it was just him, and he was, talking and doing color and play-by-play like at once, kind of radio style, but not entirely. He wasn't doing a full breakdown. But there was like one point during the last like 5 minutes when they had like gone on a run, and Ben Hallett called a timeout, and he literally said, and with that timeout, the Panther faithful will rise as one. And I was like, what is he? He was like, well, yeah, they've got something to cheer for. And he was like saying they're all standing up. But then there was another point. I don't know who it was. I can't recall. I didn't write it down. Who on IUND got hit in the face down on their side after not making it. He got hit in the face and was like down, like doubled over, not on the ground, but like bent over. like holding his face, and the play goes on down the other way, and there he's like, yep, he got hit in the face. He's not playing defense. It's like, yeah, dude, he's on the other side of the court. He was just crazy. It was just such an odd experience for an opposing fan to be watching that and hearing that guy all by himself. But hey, man, doing a solo broadcast got to be tough. So,
oh, for sure.
Respect, I guess.
All right. Panic button?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
See, I'm kind of I'm not, I don't think I'm even ready to hit the panic button. I think that
you're given the year starts in year 2.
Yeah, I think that anything this year to me was just like bonus, if that makes any sense at all.
I mean, sure, but like if I'm talking about like bottom line for IU Indy, what I want them to do is just win as many games as they did last year. And let's see. They went, I can find their record last year. 8, I think.
They were 6-14 last year.
They were 6-14
in the conference, 10-22 overall.
Yeah, 10-22. That means they have to win 6 of their remaining 12 conference games, and then they get at least 1 in the tournament.
I think there's some wins here that they can pull off.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they need to get I think I'm hitting the panic button until they get that first conference win. I'm sounding the alarm. Once they get that first conference win, I'll hit the mute button and I'll ride from there.
That's
I think
fair.
I think you're totally fair too. I think
that I am seeing the system work. Not work, but I'm seeing the signs that it's to work, and to me that's enough. That's enough to see what we can expect going forward.
Mm-hmm.
The team they're all Division II guys. Yes, they're at the top of the Division II, but that does, there is still that jump.
But you still got to see you got to see the ball go through the basket. You got to see a win on the sheet.
Well, I've seen 4 wins. They just haven't been conference wins. That's okay. They'll come down. They played better opponents.
Not all of them have been Division I wins. Is the other problem for me.
Hey, they beat Eastern Michigan, who just made Ball State look like fools.
Maybe we should have. Well, did we have Ball State at the bottom? Yeah, we had Ball State at the bottom. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about Notre Dame, because that's an interesting conversation as well.
All right, so they are Torvik ranked 74. That is down 5 spots from 69, which is no longer nice. They did go 0-1 this week. They're 10-6 overall, 1-2 in the AC. They lost to Clemson 76-61. How much did you hate that I just said the AC?
A lot. I was hoping you weren't gonna ask me about it. If I'm being honest,
I just felt. When I said it, I just felt your energy shift. I was like, "Oh, he hated this. Hated that." I
was like, "Did I just hear that?" And then I was like, "I definitely did just hear that." Like, he really said that. Ooh, hope you didn't hear that.
Yeah,
got some dog action going on out there. Clemson. We're just trying to see how much they can do, how much Jalen Harrelson can do, basically, to me, is what it seems like. Mm-hmm. Second half was horrendous. I mean, it was pretty bad. They got killed in the paint, but the good for me is that Jalen Harrelson was 3 for 4 from 3. And he's averaging 16 points in the ACC. That's good. That's good news. I mean, Marcus Burton being hurt again has enabled him to, really get some reps and some time in, but really wish that Marcus Burton was here.
Yeah,
I think it's a game they could win with him.
Yeah, I mean, it boils down to Clemson is good. That's just fact, right? Clemson is a good team. They're at the top of the ACC. I mean, in my opinion, there's only one team in the conference better than them, and that's Duke.
Louisville.
Okay, Louisville is
definitely better than Clemson.
Yeah, maybe you're right there.
I think it's like I think North Carolina. I think it's like
Clemson's still at the top. But they're still leading in the standings. They're still tied
it's
first.
It's Duke. Then I think Louisville and North Carolina are like the next tier, and then Clemson can be after them. To me,
I don't know, man. North Carolina hasn't looked great so far in conference play.
Well, they haven't bolted down their weight room.
Okay, well that's fair. But the ACC point blank, they're good, right? Clemson, I think, is a good team. ACC also just a hard league. Like there's a lot of competition there. But I think the one thing for me is Shrews. He even said he was like, the league is hard and very unforgiving sometimes. You put a lot of pressure on your old guys, and they have to play well. If they can't have an off night, I was like, they do. They don't have very many old guys, and I didn't quite remember what their full roster composition was.
Yeah,
10 of their 16 rostered players are sophomores or younger.
Like
they have 3 juniors.
Their starter, the only starter that's going to be gone is Tout, right? He's the only one that's going to be out of eligibility. Is that correct? I'll pull that up.
Keba is a senior by eligibility, and Tout is a graduate.
Tout's done. Okay,
but so 10 of their 16 rostered players, so that includes walk-ons, right, are sophomores or younger. Most of them are freshmen, right? I think 6 of those 10 are freshmen. They've got 3 juniors, one of which is their starting point guard, who is out for the rest of the season.
Right. How many games does he play? I assume he's going to get another year.
I hope.
Maybe.
I don't remember exactly how many games he played. But
we'll talk about that if that occurs.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like they are still a very young team.
Yeah.
And I think that they're, even without their starting point guard, they're still competing in quite a few games. They're just not winning the games.
He played in 10 games. He should get it. Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, they should be 2-1.
Yeah.
They should be 2-1.
Yeah.
They fell apart. I mean, 11 of 26 from 2 for them. I mean, they didn't have literally, I think their most efficient, maybe not their most efficient, their best player, who, likes to score from 2. If you didn't know that about Marcus Burton, that's kind of where he scores, and at the free throw line. So, I mean, I'm not hitting the panic button. I think 1 and 2 is fine. They should be 2-1. They did well on the West Coast trip. Obviously, they're not going to be at full strength through the rest of the year, but I think that decent fight against Clemson, and I think they're going to be okay. I think they'll be middle of the ACC. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see them middle of the ACC. I don't know that NCAA tournament is super likely, just because I don't think that many teams out of that top 4 that we mentioned in the ACC. There will be others SMU will be in the bubble, area, but I don't think Notre Dame is going to quite get there unless they close out games like this, whatever it was, Stanford, Cal. Which one was it?
You talking about Cal?
Cal, yeah.
Where they fouled but didn't get called foul.
Yeah, they got cheated.
Yeah, and then they beat Stanford by 7.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see what their schedule is, but I'm not hitting the panic button yet. I think that they can still do some things. Let's talk about PFW. We've got 4 teams left here, so let's talk about PFW. They went up from 273 up to 253, up 20 spots there. They went 2-0 this week, had a really good week, brings them to 11-8 overall and 5-3 in the conference, the Horizon League. They beat Youngstown State at home 71-69, and then they won at Robert Morris 79-74. 2 really needed wins, right?
Yes. And with both of those wins, it awarded the Purdue Fort Wayne Mastodons the Hickory Team of the Week award for Week 10. Right, 2 much-needed wins to extend their to a 3-game winning streak against Youngstown State. Right, they went on a 7-0 run to take a 6-point lead with just under 5 minutes remaining. Corey had not hit 2 clutch free throws with 22 seconds left to take a 2-point lead, and that pretty much sealed the game because it forced Youngstown to try and chuck up a 3 to win, and they missed. Then against Robert Morris, Corey had not again winning it in the first game by sealing those free throws. Got a block that was a potential game-tying 3 with 5 seconds left. So got that block to help them sustain the lead. There were 4 players with 15 points or more. Had not had 17. They led for 84.6% of the game. The last Robert Morris lead that they had was with like 14 minutes left. And then Purdue Fort Wayne went on a 22-7 to run to say, okay, you got your lead. We're going to take it back now. And both those wins were far deserving to give them the Hickory Team of the Week award.
That had not block at the end of the Robert Morris game was one of the most insane blocks I've ever seen, because he came from the side and just smacked the shit out of the ball. It looked like the dude got shot, because like he just like fell down, like fell backwards, like he got shot in the chest, but he didn't get touched. He just got the ball smacked out of his hands by like the strength of Thor, man. It was crazy. I was very impressed, man. We see him do it all the time on the scoring side. I really love to see him get that block. Say, nah, we leaving here with the win. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything to add. I mean, Corey Hadnot's a good player, man. A lot of good guards at PFW.
Okay. Panic button then?
No.
Things were getting dicey.
But I don't know, man. You can't really hit the panic button on John Kaufman.
I agree.
I
agree. Like my hand was like, it was like one of those things where like you could see my shadow kind of appear over the button, and then it's like an eclipse. Yeah. Right. Solar or lunar, either one. You see it come first, like okay, it's there, and then it slowly goes away. That's kind of what this team did to me.
Yeah, he's not. So I mean, like they had a very rough record-wise non-conference, but that was by design. He likes to play and schedule tough, and he did so. And I think that is why they are not even peaking yet. Like they're not peaking yet, right? They're getting better, and they're getting better, but they haven't even like started to peak. So I think we haven't seen the best basketball out of them, and that's why I don't even have the panic button out. Like I'm not even talking about it. So no panic button for me on the Dons. Let's talk about Purdue. They went down 2 spots from 3 to 5. They went 2-0 this week. That brings them to 15-1 on the season and a perfect 5-0 in the Big Ten Conference. They beat Washington 81-73, and they beat Penn State 93-85. Ultimately, I think both of these wins were not nearly as big margins as I thought that they would be. I thought that Purdue was going to absolutely bury Washington and Penn State. Like it just seemed like, what did Indiana played Penn State, beat them by like 30 or something in Assembly Hall,
something like that
in December. I thought that Purdue was going to do the same, but Penn State played much better and they played tough, and so did Washington. But I think a lot of the first Washington game was Braden Smith having foul trouble and Lawyer not hitting a 3. Like that'll do that. That'll make it a 8-point game.
You know what's crazy to me? The stat was kind of finalized, or not finalized, but more prominent after the Penn State game. Since the start of the 2022-2023 season, produced 27-3, which is 900 win percentage in the month of January. That's second best in that time frame.
Really?
Best, St. Mary's.
Yeah,
has not lost in the month of January since the 2022-2023 season. They're 25-0.
You know, that's impressive, but that does tell me that they are saving the St. Mary's Gonzaga matchups always for February and March. Like that tells me that they've not played Gonzaga in January
I'm actually curious. I want to pull up St. Mary's just for funsies.
when they play them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they just couldn't put Washington away. It felt like, but Braden Smith scored 23 and had a very, I think, like he had foul trouble and had 3 fouls in the first half actually, but that's surprising. The more surprising thing to me is he had 7 assists and 6 turnovers. So Washington was really, getting in there and causing havoc on Braden Smith's passes. Only 7 assists. I'm going to assume he would have had more if Lawyer hit 3. Probably would have had 8 assists, 9 assists, if he hit his threes. Penn State, Braden was much better without the foul trouble. 26 points, 14 assists, 1 turnover. Getting closer to that number 1 spot on the assist rankings.
He's 15th now, is that right?
I believe so. He has not yet passed Doug Gottlieb. We'll tell you when that happens.
2 things. So polarizing going from looking at their turnovers against Washington to their turnovers against Penn State.
Yeah.
Because they set a school record for fewest turnovers in a game with 3 against Penn State, which is insane.
And so Matt Painter's going to tell Braden that he had a third of their turnovers and use that as fuel to make him play
last year.
Yeah.
Purdue turned the ball over 24 times against Penn State. That's insane. Obviously a very different Penn State team.
Right.
But also shout out Lawyer. He surpassed 1,500 career points and is 5th place in the school's career 3-pointers made list.
Nice.
With 240. Back to the St. Mary's thing real quick. First off, St. Mary's plays Gonzaga January 31st.
No way.
Yeah, where they are 11-point dogs, St. Mary's is. But
okay,
next week, St. Mary's plays Santa Clara, where they are 3.3-point underdogs.
Interesting.
So they might not even make it to Gonzaga with that undefeated record standing in the month of January.
So note on Fletcher here. He's sitting at 240. When he gets to 244, he will pass Etwan Moore and go into 3rd. So he'll go into 3rd, and then he's going to catch Dakota Mathias, who has 250. The question is, now to the end of the season, does he hit 42 3-pointers?
No way.
How many games do they have left? They played 16 games, so they've got about at least 16, 17 games. So he's got to average like 3 a game if he wants to pass Carson Edwards.
I just don't think it happens.
That'll be an interesting thing to watch. We've got a lot of history to watch here with this Purdue team.
Speaking of history, the St. Mary's Gonzaga game is usually like February 1st through 5th.
Yeah, they play twice, right?
Yeah, it's usually February 1st through 5th, and then the end. And this year it happens to be before, but they have won their first matchup against them every year.
Okay, right now this year, Fletcher Lawyer is averaging 2.7 makes on 6.8 attempts per game for 3-pointers. It's gonna be as close as it can be. He needs to have a game where he goes nuclear. He has to. That's gonna be a fascinating thing to follow. Let's talk about Southern Indiana. They went down from 342 to 347. 0-2 this week, 3-13 overall, 0-6 in the Ohio Valley. Lost to SEMO 84-76 and lost to UT Martin 73-56. Panic.
Yeah.
Panic. I hit the panic button.
I think I hit it a couple weeks ago. I mean,
Stan Gerard's worst year was 8 wins.
I don't think they get 5.
I don't know if they. I think they'll get to 5. I don't think they're getting to 8 though. Which means if they don't get to 8, they're looking at a 4-16 season in the conference. If they get to 7 wins.
How many? Do we know how many years is on Coach G's contract?
No, I don't. No idea. But it's I mean, we saw I mean IU Indy was going through a name change and a brand change and everything, so they went and fired their coach who was an alum, but you don't win 8 games. I don't know how Southern Indiana, I mean, like their only good year was the year where they transitioned. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's been the only year that they've been good. 2024 was their worst year. 8-24. And they're only favored 2 more games, and Tennessee Tech at home is a toss-up game where they're favored by like 1. I just don't see it, man. Like, I'm hitting the panic button. I don't know. I don't have much hope right now, unfortunately, for the Screaming Eagles. It's a little bit hard to watch right now.
I don't think he has a formal this is how many years. I think it's just you're here until.
Well, there's some I mean, he's a public employee, so I think they have to post it, but we can look into that off air and report back next week if we find the time. But
I'm just curious if they would make a change. Like, is it one of those things that, like, I don't know. I'm in the same boat with like Mike Lewis, right? It's like you've got to win at schools like this, right? But Valpo, they are 172 up from 189. They went 1-1 this week. They're 8-9 overall, 2-4 in the conference. They won versus Illinois State 77-71. Then they lost at Murray State 92-79. Really interesting thing. So Illinois State preseason favored to win the conference.
Mm-hmm.
Valpo snapped a 9-game losing streak in games against the team picked to win the conference. They have not beat a league's preseason favorite since 2021. They did it. They beat them.
They did it, and they did it under Roger Powell.
Yeah, and they had Illinois State had the top net rating in the Missouri Valley at 58. That is crazy.
Yeah, and this is their best win in 5 years.
Yeah,
like by the numbers, it's their best win by the numbers. So very good win, and like did it. Like they looked good at the end. Like Owen Deese had one play down the stretch with, I don't know, maybe a minute or so left, or maybe less than that, and they just threw, he ran out there like a receiver, and they just threw it down court. He caught it and just absolutely posterized this kid. He was so good, dude. 28 points, and apparently Powell said, I listened to the post game when I was watching the broadcast, and Powell said that that's a play that they used to run sometimes when he was at Valpo as an assistant, and it's just one thing that he kept, and man, it looked good. It looked good.
That's they had I believe the second best 3-point percentage in the nation this season, and the best against a D1 opponent. Shot 75% from 3 against Illinois State.
Pretty good.
Which is wild. Their best 3-point percentage in a game since 2007. So just record-setting stuff all over the place. Then the Murray State game, JT Pettigrew, still great.
Mm-hmm.
He had 15 points, which is his 4th game with 15 or more. But then the Murray State bench just went nuclear. They outscored Valpo's bench 49-17.
Yeah, I mean Murray State's good, and they shot really well.
Yeah.
Like they shot super well, and that's tough. I mean they've won 11 in a row. they're undefeated in the Missouri Valley for a reason. Like Murray State looks really good, and it's tough to follow. It's tough to follow up beating Illinois State and then going to Murray State and trying to win a second one is a tough ask. But 2-4, I mean, they have played insanely tough teams already in the Valley.
Yeah,
they have played some very hard teams in the Valley. Like literally, this is probably the most brutal week that we've seen out of anybody in the entire Valley have to do.
Yeah,
and they went 1-1.
Yeah,
I'm not even. I don't even know where the panic button is. I'm very high on this team.
Yeah, I'm not super worried. Again, they've played really, really tough opponents. Just not even this week, but just at period in the Valley, right? They played the teams that are all at the top.
Yep.
And they competed with all of them.
Yeah.
Like the most glaring thing, it was Northern Iowa, lost by 10. But that's still
a team at the top of the conference. Yeah.
The Murray State game, we'll throw that out because that's their biggest loss in a while. But otherwise, they're within single digits to all these teams.
Yeah. But still, it was only a 13-point loss on the road, and I think they were projected to lose by more than that.
Yeah.
So like very, very pleased with what we've seen the early season out of Valpo for me. Definitely no panic button here.
Absolutely not. Okay, well that is our weekly recap for the Indiana schools. The one thing we have before we widen our lens is this question, Adam. Who is your Week 10 Jimmy Chitwood Player of the Week?
The Jimmy Chitwood Player of the Week this week is Owen Deese from Valpo. He had a career high of 28 points against Illinois State. He was perfect from three, perfect from free throw. He added 6 rebounds, 2 assists. He was doing a little bit of everything. He was absolutely willing them to get this win. And it was an important win because not only was it a conference win, which they desperately needed another one. They've competed, but they needed a win. He led them to a win over 83 ranked Illinois State. And they haven't beaten a team ranked this high in 5 years. It was their best win in 5 years, and the roster's really coming together. All these guys are playing well, and Owen Deese is one guy who just continues to look better and better, and he was on full display. His talents are on full display here. Had a highlight dunk at the end of the game. So Owen Deese, definitely deserving of the Jimmy Chitwood Award this week. Let's talk about games next week. So... let's just talk about a couple. Like one I think is important is Notre Dame playing at home versus Miami. They're 1-point underdogs. That's a game you got to win at home. Like if it's projected to be close, you got to win that one. Especially with how you kind of took one on the road that you shouldn't have gotten, and then played close-ish against Clemson, and then got one stolen from you. So win that one, and I'm pretty happy with Notre Dame.
Yeah, we got Butler at Xavier on the 14th. Butler, they are favored. Xavier is one of those teams that they could be good. They show signs of being good. Butler, we kind of talked about it, has been trending kind of downward. So need a big momentum shift here to get them a conference back, kind of moving in the right direction in the conference.
Another team that needs to be going in the right direction here is Ball State. They have Ohio this week. They're 4-point underdogs there. That is a lot more winnable than their other game this week against Akron, and they need to win that one for a big morale boost. I mean, I'm not saying they can't beat Akron, but Purdue had trouble with Akron. if we're being honest here, they gave Purdue fits for a little bit. So that's definitely their most winnable one so far, and I would like to see them come out of that one with a win.
Yep. Then we got IU-Indy. Good chance to get a conference win here. They played Detroit on the 17th. They're 2.5-point dogs, but they are at home. We've seen signs of great things from, or signs of a lot of potential from IU-Indy. Detroit is, I just don't think they're very good. And I think this is a good opportunity for them for the Jags to kind of
perfect one for them to jump on.
Get back in the win column.
And then Valpo.
Get into the win column.
Right. And then Valpo, I mean, continuing that trend, playing Northern Iowa, a team, at the top part of the conference. They're 3-point underdogs, but you've shown that you can beat anyone in the in the Arc. So why not just beat Northern Iowa there? That's on the 17th, so at 2 p.m. So keep an eye out for those games and more, obviously, but those are just a few that we wanted to highlight.
Yep. So let's look at last week in the other 49 states.
Nebraska ball is the story, like the story.
Yeah.
They're ranked in the top 10 for the first time since 1966.
It's a long time.
That is a long time. That my father had just turned 16 when that happened.
I thought you were going to say 6, and I was like, wait a minute. No.
No.
My father
16.
wasn't born when that happened.
Yeah.
My father has never seen Nebraska ball the top 10 until now.
Yeah, it's elite, man. I mean, they're tough. They beat Michigan State, and speaking of Michigan State, there was an all-time moment. Tom Izzo had former Spartan Paul Davis, who was in the crowd, crushing Twisted Teas. Just crushing Twisted Teas. He told the refs to kick him out, and they ejected him.
The funniest thing is Tom Izzo didn't realize who it was until after he said kick him out.
And then he said that, and then you see him across the court being like, "What are you doing, man?" Like he said, like, "What are you doing, man?" Like, you could hear him say that. Like, I love that he did that. He doesn't care, and he doesn't care if you're Paul Davis. He's gonna kick you out. He said, "I love Paul Davis, I really do." But what he said, you should never say anywhere in the world, and that really ticked me off. I'm gonna have to call him tomorrow and let him know what I thought of that.
What did he even say? Do we know what he said?
I haven't seen, and I mean, Tom Izzo tells me I don't want to know. You know,
That's true.
But then they had a press conference, media availability or whatever the next day, and he made Paul Davis go up there and give an apology. Tom Izzo is a class act, man.
Yeah.
He's like one of the ones from the old guard that is still out there. Like,
I think he is the one from the old guard.
Yeah.
There's no one left.
It's amazing. It's amazing he's still doing that.
I mean, you consider Painter into that, like old guard.
If Tom Izzo said those things about me, kicked me out of it, I think I'd cry. I think like if Tom Izzo kicked me out of a game, I'd be like, I have failed.
Right.
Like, I have failed.
Right.
What else?
Chinks, knock on wood.
Give me a Coke. Did you see the Auburn situation?
I did not.
So this was one.
Maybe I did.
This is another one where we thought it was going to be a big ref issue. So Auburn was playing Texas A&M, and at Auburn, and they inbounded the ball down 2 with like 0.6 left. Mm-hmm. It was like a pass that went just over half court. Dude turns around, hits a 3 from like the logo. It goes in. It counts. They're going crazy. They review it because it was close. Didn't get it off in time.
Oh,
Wiped the points off, and it was the right call. They actually made the right call. The refs made the right call this time. But
I do remember seeing that. I do remember seeing that clip. So I saw the clip of them hitting the shot, and then like a couple hours later, I saw a clip of them saying the shot didn't count, and I was so confused. I was like, "What?" But yeah, I do remember that. Another thing in Auburn, the Auburn Arkansas game, the broadcasters were saying "Yo Mama" jokes. I don't know. I don't remember who it was broadcasting. It might have been Charles Barkley. He might have been one of the ones.
That would
not
be
surprise
very
me.
fitting.
Yeah, but he was like, "Do you think when they're trash talking down there, like they still say Yo Mama jokes during the game?" The other guy was like, "I don't know. And then whoever like brought up a topic goes, "I heard a good one recently. You want to hear it?" He's like, "Sure." He's like, "Yo Mama's so fat she browses the internet all day just to accept the cookies." This was all said on the broadcast.
Okay.
It is just like one of those things, like things have become so unhinged that
I want that type of content from one person and one person alone, and they're no longer with us, and it's Bill Walton.
Yeah.
Because like when I tuned into a Bill Walton game, I knew I was not going to hear basketball. I knew I was not going to hear basketball, and I was fine with that. But if I'm tuning into a regular game,
This is a ranked matchup too, by the way.
I'm expecting to hear basketball talk.
Yeah. Granted, it was like during a downtime.
Yeah.
But still. And then did you also see what Boise State and what happened with Boise State and Utah State?
I did not know.
So it's over winter break, right? And people haven't quite gone back to campus yet, 'cause some colleges are still filtering back. So Boise State did a free ticket night for their student section. So anyone with a valid student ID, this could be college, this could be high school, middle school, elementary school. If you have a valid active student ID, you could get a free ticket to the Boise State student section for their game against Utah State. So Utah State students started getting free tickets. They were like,
within the rules.
They tried to like start getting the free tickets to be in the student section, and then so Boise State had to like retweet it and amend the rules and specifically say, this applies for only schools in Idaho. But I saw that, I was like, that is the most incredible thing. Just you show up to a Boise State game and their student section is just Utah State students.
Hey man, you know what? If you follow the rules, I don't think that people can get mad at you. If they didn't see that loophole in the rules, that's on them.
True.
It's on them.
Did you see what happened with Tobe Awaka?
Mm-mm.
So, player for Arizona, right? Arizona is one of our undefeated schools, which we'll talk about here in a second to update all of our listeners. And he got called for a foul, right? Just, play in the paint or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He turned around, his jersey just completely ripped. Like, I'm saying from like the collar all the way down to the bottom, all the way over to like the armpit.
What do you
it was just
dude?
all
How
it
do
said.
that?
You could see like AR,
Uh-huh.
and then the rest was just his undershirt.
Dang, I was hoping he was raw dogging.
And he got called for a foul. He was in there. He did kind of push a little bit to like, I think he was trying to push off to be able to get a rebound or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And the guy that he pushed just like grabbed onto his jersey and just
Stricked it. All right. I did not see that. That's wild. I assume he had to go get a new jersey.
Yeah. Let me pull up a picture for you while we.
So we were talking about unbeaten teams last week, and there were 6, and then immediately after that, Michigan barely survives and beats Penn State by 2. So maybe that's why they played so well against Purdue. They had all that momentum from almost beating Michigan. And then Michigan follows that up with losing to Wisconsin at home by 3, giving them their first loss. So Michigan's out. Now the remaining unbeatens are number 2, and these are Torvik rankings. Number 2, Arizona at 16-0. Number 3, Vanderbilt at 16-0. Number 6, Iowa State at 16-0. And number 20, Nebraska at 16-0. And then number 86, Miami of Ohio at 17-0. So I don't think I think what did I say last week? Michigan would probably go the longest.
I think so.
Oops.
I still think Miami can go the furthest.
They probably can.
I just don't think
that's probably
lose.
the right answer. That or Vanderbilt, I think.
Yeah,
'Cause Vanderbilt's been very good.
Yeah, but
I'm ready to lock in Miami of Ohio with you.
I was confident. Also, there's the picture of.
Good Lord. Got no jersey at all.
Yeah.
I was actually watching that game, but I was far away, and I was there in the second. I was there probably after that actually happened. Far away from the TV.
Yeah, I think Miami. I think they go into the NCAA tournament undefeated.
I think we locked that in.
No, sorry. I think they go into the MAC conference or MAC tournament undefeated.
Interesting.
I don't know if they.
I don't know if they make it that far, but I think that they'll probably be the last undefeated team.
Yeah. Another thing, we talk about Doug Gottlieb the last few weeks.
Yeah, a lot of assists, man.
Yeah, a little fun fact. Green Bay's 4-1 since he stepped away from his show. Who would have thought?
Me, you, everybody.
They were 10-35 up to that point. He stepped away in kind of mid-December, 5 games ago, and they're 4-1 since then. Not including today's game. They were 153rd in Torvik since he left his show. So in those 5 games, they were 153rd. They were 228th in the period before he left the show this season. So, again, who would have thought?
Who would have thought you devote all your attention to one thing, you do a little bit better? What do they say? Don't half-ass 2 things, full-ass 1 thing.
Never heard that before, but that sounds...
You've never heard that?
No.
Well, yeah, don't half-ass 2 things and you can full-ass 1 thing. Yeah. Let's look at next week's game. So Monday the 12th, there's the Battle of the A&Ms, but not the ones that you're thinking. It's Texas A&M Corpus Christi at East Texas A&M at 7:30 p.m. I just thought that was a fun matchup there.
That would have been a good guess the game.
It would have been, but there's a lot of A&Ms.
There are. That is true. So our game of the day on the Tuesday the 13th is Iowa State at Kansas. That is a 9 p.m. tip. Iowa State defending their undefeated record in Fog Allen. Tough place to play and win.
Mm-hmm. Wednesday, the 14th, another undefeated team is playing, and they are playing. Vanderbilt is playing at Texas at 9 p.m. So we could lose one or both of those in the span of 2 days. We could lose neither of them in the undefeated ranks. So keep an eye on that.
Thursday the 15th, we have the potato playoff. Idaho, at Idaho State at 9 p.m. It's in-state matchup between the Idaho teams.
Another fun. Hey, man, 2 in-state matchups. Perfect this week in our games. Friday game of the day, Creighton at Providence at 6:30. That's on the 16th. It's the Big East game, right? Providence has been better than people thought. If you thought they were going to be really bad, they're not. they're not that good. Creighton's not been that good either, but they're both okay. These both have repercussions in the Big East or Butler. Maybe they'll both lose and Butler will win. Probably not, but
I don't think that happens. But
we'll see.
Saturday the 17th, the game of the day is BYU at Texas Tech at 8 p.m. Really interesting to see just how things go out with AJ DeBonso and going against the
Red Raiders.
The Red Raiders.
Yep. Sunday the 18th, our game is Oakland at Green Bay at 2. Green Bay blew out, honestly, both of the Indiana teams in the Horizon League, PFW and IUND, but it's 1-point favorite for Oakland. So it should be a pretty interesting game in the Horizon League since they're both kind of at the top. Oakland is definitely in the mix there. Green Bay's just right behind them, but like Jaren said, he gave up his radio show, so now anything is possible for the Phoenix of Green Bay.
I wonder if this spread takes into consideration him having...
Torvik definitely has like a quit your podcast radio show in algorithm. It's built into the algorithm. It's a variable that you adjust. It's been 0 for everyone. He's the first time. It's the first time he's ever had to use it. He's had to dust it off and everything.
But he had it ready because he knows.
Yeah, he knows all, man.
Yeah. All right. Guess the game. I give you the clue first this week, I believe.
I'll take it.
So an update on the standings. Adam is 1-6.
Woohoo.
I am 2-5. So this week, my week 10 guess the game for you, Adam.
Yeah.
Listen very closely.
Mm-hmm. I do that sometimes.
Santa's wife named Barb.
Okay.
Playing in the field of bakers in the not so small West.
Okay. I'm gonna say Santa Barbara, because that's Santa's wife. Sorry, Claus. Santa Clara, right? Santa Claus, Mrs. Claus. Santa Clara?
Get me to read.
No, hang on. But Santa Clara, I think, is in the WCC. Okay. You said Santa's wife. Read it for me again.
Santa's wife named Barb.
Okay. Barb Claus. Mm-hmm.
Playing in the field of bakers.
Yep.
In the not so small West.
Yeah. Okay. Santa's wife named Barb. I'm going to say Santa Barbara versus Cal State Bakersfield. And they're, I guess, both in the Big West. That's my guess.
That is correct.
Woo!
UC Santa Barbara at Cal State Bakersfield, Thursday, January 15th at 9:30 p.m. And I was willing, if you got Santa Barbara and Bakersfield,
Yeah.
I was willing to even scrap the like, okay, is it Cal State Santa Barbara? Is it UC Santa Barbara? Is it Cal State Bakersfield? I mean, just because there are a
Cal State
million
Bakersfield, I knew.
in the California system, both the state and the UC system.
I'm so glad we're not the state of
if you
California.
if you got Santa Barbara or Bakersfield, like I would have given you that.
Yeah, I feel like
you started talking
yourself. Yeah,
I don't know what yourself. I got started going Santa Clara, and I was like,
I got twisted. I don't know why. Because I was thinking Santa Barbara the whole time, but then I was like, why did I say Santa Clara? It was weird.
Because you were like Santa Claus, Clara.
Yeah, I don't know. I like said something and like it just came to mind. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it when I said it, and then I was like, okay, I do need you to say this clue again.
That's why I even like. I didn't want to let you go down that fact. So I was like, do you want me to repeat it?
I would have asked because I was like, I had realized that I was lost along the way, but
and then I added in the not so big or the not so small West because I didn't know if that would help you at all.
I mean it did
but
for a second
because then I
started even if you hadn't repeated it, I would have been like, wait, Santa Clara, I'm pretty sure is in the WCC, I think. Or they're in the Mountain West.
They are in the
I think they're the
West Coast Conference because that is who St. Mary's is underdogs to.
Yeah. So I was like, I would have realized that. All right, you ready? You ready to guess? Get another one on me?
I pause. Yeah, let's hear it.
All right, let's see how well you know animals and geography here, Jaren. My guess the game here is buffaloes migrate to the Appalachians.
Buffaloes migrate to the Appalachians. So I don't think this is right, but my head goes to the Colorado Buffaloes and the App State, but I don't know if they're in the same conference. I don't believe so because App State's a Sun Belt, and I'm pretty sure Colorado's not in the Sun Belt.
I wouldn't think that Colorado is the Sun Belt either.
But who else is in the Sun Belt that could be a buffalo? And migrate, I think go north. So I think a school that is probably south of, unless it's just not Appalachian State. There are other schools in that area.
There are some schools in Appalachia. Buffaloes migrate to the Appalachians. That's my clue.
Is West Virginia the Appalachians? Is WVU? Is that area? Is it Colorado WVU?
Yes.
Let's go.
I'm glad you. Yeah, dude. They're nestled in the Morgantown's nestled in the Appalachian Mountains. That whole range, Yes, you did get that right. I was really hoping you weren't going to take the App State route. You're making me nervous there. But that game is Saturday the 17th at 6 p.m. Colorado is at West Virginia. I'm glad you talked yourself back into it. Jaren's now 3-5.
The crazy thing is the Marshall Thundering Herd, and the Sun Belt. Mm-hmm. That's kind of. See,
I thought that you might
kind of Buffalo-y.
Think App State, right? Maybe, but I was like, I'm just gonna say flat out Buffaloes. Like that should get you to Colorado.
Yeah,
that should get you to Colorado. Just don't look off of that one.
And that's what I was like, okay, this is, I feel like, and migrate, like my first thought was, okay, they go travel north for the winter, like birds migrate or travel north.
South.
Yeah. I was thinking north-south for migration,
Okay.
And so like, okay, team coming up to App State or team coming down to App State. Then I was like, wait a minute, you can go laterally.
You can go anywhere.
Yeah.
It just means moving.
Yeah. And then I was second guessing, okay, is West Virginia actually the Appalachian? And I was like, I'm pretty sure it is. Because I think there's like a big portion of that region of the country is.
Yeah, that whole range is
It is sneaky large.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, West Virginia is.
Because there's parts of Ohio in the Appalachians, I believe.
Now that I don't know. I don't think about Ohio.
I think southwest, southeast, maybe. But I believe that is it for our show this week. So the clock is showing quadruple zeros, and it's time for us to get out of here. Thanks for checking in on the State of Basketball podcast. We will see you next time. And remember, in 49 states,
it's just basketball.